too long ago.
Oh,
Hello, and welcome to another wonderful award-winning edition of the Mack Brothers podcast. I'm Mack, and that's Mack
brothers.
Brothers.
Um, so Matthew, what's going on with you?
Well, I was last week found out I was in Alaska after 2 days of wandering around with nothing. My laptop died right after the podcast, so I was left there stranded. And then I went to go find some help. And do you ever watch that movie, The Astronaut's Wife?
No.
All right. Well, the guy has a
That's
spaceship.
not right.
Guy has a spaceship, and he flew me out, and he left me in space. I thought he was bringing me home, so I've been orbiting around the Earth for the past 5 days.
Good for you. How you feeling?
Lightheaded.
Well, everything's probably lighter up there, right?
There's no gravity, so
Guess what?
I don't have
It's funny you should say
any
that
mass.
because guess what came on shuffle on my phone today twice, two different times. Shuffle.
Matthew
Zero
orbiting around the Earth.
zero G's by Poor Little Rich, aka Retro Judah,
That's actually the only song that I get out here on the radio.
our great friend. It's funny that Matthew said there's zero gravity. Is that what G stands for in that? I would assume there's zero
I
G's
don't
in my.
know.
It's a really great. I think it does mean that. It's really great because ain't nobody grounded. There's zero G's in my surroundings. It's a good lyric. Retro Judah.
Everyone go check out. I mean, that song might be released under as Poor Little Rich.
Little Rich, yeah.
Retro Judah now.
Follow him.
Check out both.
So everyone asks me what I'm eating during the podcast.
You do?
They do.
I'm hungry. Could
What
you
I'm
throw
eating
some up
today: Catalina Crunch keto friendly cheddar crunch mix. It's only it's like 4 or 5 grams of carbs. You know, just snack on
there? Everyone asks me what I'm eating
a
up
little
here
peckish.
in outer space, and what I'm eating is this Mixie Apple Watch case.
Oh shit!
So I'm eating. That's the only thing they give you up here as a snack is Apple Watch cases. We eat them whole.
Are you going to be back down in time for all the stuff we have coming this year?
I think I might probably be dead within the hour.
Okay. Well, let's get this.
I'm running out of oxygen.
Well, everyone, I have a bunch of albums coming out this year and next year, 2 or 3, maybe 4.
I'm
Uh,
gonna help them out from space. John,
well,
I think I've decided to become an alien.
okay. You're done with being
Yeah.
I was gonna say Jack Harlow.
Yeah. You know what some have told me? Some have said, others have said in the past, they've said I'm out of this world.
Uh,
John, is that a new addition to the positivity wall?
so we have a new edition. We have a real new edition. This is bullshit. This was just to prove a point.
John, what's it say?
Radiate joy, and that's what we do every time we get a chance.
I think in that note, I'm gonna decide to come back down to Earth and be a human.
Yeah,
I think I'll survive. I'll make it.
we'll be back next week. What was I gonna say? So what's going on, Matthew? Getting to the brass tacks of
You know, John, I heard
doing a lot of traveling recently.
I heard that
Wait,
Donald.
wait, wait. You were at a winery. Talk about the winery. I want to hear about the winery. There was llamas.
So all right,
Get into this. I'm telling you.
so
I
this
mean,
weekend,
I want the real deal.
this weekend, I called in a favor. My buddy Buzz Aldrin came and picked me up, brought me down to this winery. I went to this winery with my lady called I don't actually. I'd have to look up the name.
Wasn't it Llama Winery?
It may have been just Llama Winery. So we go to this winery. We get there. It's like this tiny little wooden thing, and there's like this like very thin, wifty woman behind the. You there? Behind
I'm looking for the name.
behind the counter, right? So she's there behind the counter. Hi, yeah, you can get some wine. So we go, we drink our wine. It's all right. It's a food thing. There's the tremendous guy. He's Billy Mack, and he makes Mac. He made macar. I thought it was a macaroon. I learned that a macaroon is something with coconut. This guy makes macarons. He made a wine macaron, and it was chocolate with almond, pecans, and hazelnut mixed macaron, which fucking
That sounds
killed me.
crazy.
It was so good. So then, um, I decide that I want more wine, so I go buy a bottle of wine, and then I get glasses, and so I have my wine glass, and we walk down this just like gravel road, and it's just a big farm with just a bunch of llamas. So you just walk down there with your wine and you just go look at the llamas and that's it. And I didn't realize when llamas are upset with you, they'll spit at you. So luckily I didn't get spit at. So like llamas are like a real South Philly animal when you really think about it. Like they're when they're upset with you, you can clearly tell. And if you take it too far, they'll spit on you, which is
Mhm.
exactly what will happen. Speaking of that, detour on the road of life for a second. I was in the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through today, and I picked up my coffee, and the guy looked at me and he said, I don't know if there was something wrong with this guy, but he goes, "Have fun in North Philly," and I was like, "What?" And then he's supposed to give me food too, so I say, "Where's my food?" So the other lady, who's a sweetheart, who's always there, says, "Oh, here's your food, Matt." She gives me my food. I look at this guy and he says, have fun in North Philly. He says it again, but like nervous this time. I'm like, all right, maybe there's something. I go, have fun in South Philly. And I drove away. I was like, what? Like, what, dude?
So weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It took me off my guard and it took me off my game.
Nothing worse than being off your game.
Yeah. So luckily the llamas didn't spit on me. Back to the llamas. And when they don't want to be around you, they have these really long heads and their long necks, and they'll just turn their head like this. They'll just very clearly be like,
Nah.
they'll just turn away from you, like very dramatically, like I'm not even looking at you. And then they'll like look back to see if you're there, and they're like, nope. So llamas are funny as shit. Don't mess with them because they'll spit on you. And you know what? If you mess with the llamas enough to where they spit on you, you probably deserve to be spit on by a llama then. You're probably a dick and you need to learn to respect their space.
So I've had some personal growth, Matthew. I've been
You
cleaning
tell.
as soon as I see cat throw up in my house, I clean it.
John, that's a good thing. That's also a disgusting thing to share with me all of a sudden. I'm actually
Usually I used to cover it and wait for my woman to get home. When I lived at home, I'd cover it and wait for our mother to clean it up. But now I clean it myself.
sounds like you're on like a 12-step program for like becoming a full-fledged adult and you're on like step 6.
Yeah. I did like step 11 and 12
Yeah,
before I could, like
you're
step.
working retroactive.
Yeah, I got like success in my career, and then was like, oh, you know what? I should start.
Start
Like
cleaning.
yeah, like I should do the dishes.
Let me ask you a question.
I did the dishes today too.
I don't know what utensil you use or what tool you use to clean your dishes. But how often, if you were living by yourself, how often do you think you would change your sponge?
So I actually just bought a 24 pack of smiley face sponges.
Oh, so all the time. You're every week you got a new smile on your face.
Well, it's not that I would do it every week, but I'm prepared to get rid of it
Yeah, just don't hold on to the same
when we
one for
have to.
6 months.
But
Think about
I don't do the dishes as much, so it's not my decision.
you should use you should dishwasher. They don't, one good thing about being in outer space, there are no dishes. There's no sinks up here. There's no dishwashers. There's no one. So what you do is when you're done using this is me eating pudding in outer space like this. If you eat real quick, if you don't eat really quick in outer space, you explode. So eating pudding really quickly, and I'm done with the spoon. There it is. Off to Mars. Goodbye. Spoon gone. And then like butter knives, we get rid of those things like they're fucking like it's nothing up here. There's so many butter knives in space you wouldn't believe. There's a lot of people floating around up here.
Really?
Yeah, I saw Bezos, I saw Musk. They were floating around up here.
You know, when Elon bought Twitter, like there was some really funny memes about him, but there was some fucking bad one. There were some terrible jokes about like Musk, like the smell. Like I've maybe seen 10 different like bad Musk jokes.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I'm not going anywhere else with this, but I just wanted to point it out.
John, that's the algorithm failing you. You need to get out of the matrix, bro.
I think I have a decent matrix. It's sports, and music.
My the only matrix I have is a data matrix that is a shared file between me and other employees at my place of employment.
I don't know if I actually know what a matrix is then.
Here's the thing. According to Andrew Tate and other national dickweed, Logan Paul, um, anytime something bad happens, it's actually just the Matrix responding to them. It's that yeah, that's what they said. Like Logan Paul got called out for like because he did like a crypto scam and like scammed his followers out of like a couple $1 million. CoffeeZilla exposed him. He got really mad at CoffeeZilla until CoffeeZilla was like, "Yo, I got too much proof, bro. Like, don't fuck with me." And then Logan Paul had to backtrack and apologize. Oh, I'll do better and blah blah blah. And then he sent Andrew Tate said something about the Matrix with him because he's a creepy fucking rapist molester piece of shit who should die in jail. And then he says something about the Matrix, like his team tweeted it out. And like 2 days later, after the Logan Paul thing happened, he tweeted the same thing out. So it's like, what are you doing, dude? Scuzz buckets. Buckets of scuzz.
You know who's not a piece of shit?
Who?
Our sponsor for today's pod,
Uh
League Island Brewing Club. Let me tell you something about these guys. I just had some mead the other night, made by them, and holy shit, is it delicious! Everything they do is delicious, but this was a special taste that you can only get through League Island Brewing Club. It's a membership program. You have to join, and he'll bring you a crate of beer, and it's absolutely fantastic. And they're all actually the bottles are like almost two. They're like what 24 ounces or something like that. So you're really getting more than just one beer. You're getting like at least two beers and they're all strong because they're all IPAs and they're all different. They're all homemade. I think the lowest one's like a 5.2, which is the summer wheat, but the mead. What do they do? What do they do? And they kiss their hands, the chefs. That's what it is. Yeah. League Island Brewing Club, delicious. Go follow them. Link will be in the description. Matthew,
Yeah, it's me.
back to the podcast, everyone.
So, um, I don't know what we were talking about before. Um, but
Oh, you know what? We have to find a mix like a so so mix them. If musicians are watching, they actually might be able to chime in and help us. Mix them has failed us, it seems, and we need a new. So how would we describe what we need? What would it be called?
mm, mm, wherever you can upload Logic projects and then like have them update their progress in the cloud and then be able to access it amongst collaborators. A lot live, or I don't know if even live is the right word, but a music collaboration app for Logic, I guess would be the right term. I'm surprised, to tell you the truth, that Apple hasn't released their own thing, but you know, I guess Tim Apple doesn't want to make musicians' lives easier.
Well, and I think we if anyone is listening as a musician, free or not free, like if we got to pay something a month, it might be worth it.
Yeah.
So depending on
It,
how much it is, but
if someone will also pay someone to just drive back and forth between us and relay messages,
yeah.
and like you could drive my laptop to John and then drive it back, and vice versa.
Oh, you know what we should talk about? I just did or we just put out. I take a lot of pride in what I am covered.
We shouldn't talk about that at all. You know what we
It's
should talk about? Baby, why don't you just meet me in the middle?
I don't like. That's the song that has the clock, the ticking clock as a percussion, right?
I don't know.
I fucking that really it's really annoying. Whatever it is.
That's a spoiler. That's the next song John does.
But I no, I think it's
John
important.
learned.
I
Sorry,
think
I
it's
was gonna sing your
important.
song.
I think it's important that that cover came out when it did because it kind of shows our hand a little bit of what we're going to do next, where we're kind of merging some genres.
I like the opening line in the song. Things I learned in a hobo jungle,
Mm,
things they'd never taught me. See, like when you showed me that song, the Dean Martin version, like I was like, this is cool, but it didn't feel like a Dean Martin song, if that made sense.
no,
And then when I looked it up, I was like, this is a Merle Haggard song. And I don't know about you, but my little ignorant self thought I didn't go out of my way to listen to Merle Haggard, and why would I go listen to old cowboy music by fake cowboys, you know?
yeah,
But I'll tell you what, Merle Haggard and some of those other guys have some great songs, and that's one of them.
that's
So
definitely
if anyone likes one good country music, and then anyone likes good indie music, you should go listen to John's cover of "I Take a Lot of Pride in What I Am" because it's a good fusion.
thank you. I played a lot with some trumpets, did some weird guitar work, some little guitar harmonies. Uh, I don't think I did background vocals, but it was fun to do. And the video of that we put out is really it really fits the song well, but it has nothing to do with like
Anything.
I did it. It happened probably 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know where I was going. I don't remember where I was coming from, but I was on a subway
And I don't remember where I've been.
with a couple Heineken, and I was dancing to I don't remember what song. I think it was an Alex Cameron album, maybe. I
In
was
a
just
leather jacket.
in a leather jacket by myself. You know how hard it is to be by yourself on a subway car on the subway in
And,
Philadelphia.
and yeah, you probably actually weren't by yourself. You just didn't remember there was a guy sleeping under the chairs.
No, I mean, you go watch the video there. Yeah, maybe he was sleeping on the chairs.
Under the
Um,
chairs.
you know what? You probably took a beer from me. Yeah, I don't know where I was going. Where do you think I was going?
Does anybody really know where they're going?
You know, you're floating in space.
On this journey we call life.
Your journey's about to end in like 12 when you get crushed under the weight of gravity.
I think that I'm going to become a caricature for the rest of my public life and not look back. And I think I'm just going to become Bon Jovi.
Be Bon Jovi for a minute.
I can't be anything else but me.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's do what song you want to sing? I'll be there for you.
Oh. I scum, but I don't know. Richie, I'm floating in outer space. I can't hear that. It's picking
Really?
up your guitar's background noise and cutting it out. John, that's all your guitar playing is background noise.
But I can't buy back yesterday.
I swear to God, I'll be there for you. These 5 words I swear to you. When you breathe, wait a minute. Richard, there's no air up here. I can't sing that line. I'm an honest man. I'd orbit the earth for you.
What's the Bon Jovi? Oh, I think it's from a movie. Someone they were looking at like a dating profile and it said all I got is a red guitar, three chords and the truth.
Yeah.
Quote Bon Jovi instead of Bob Dylan.
You know, that is a quote that I quoted. I'm very quotable, and I'm in New Jersey.
You know, so we all know who Bon Jovi. We all know the Jovi.
Yeah, we do know the joke.
Bon Jovi. When I worked at Wells Fargo Center, I was front row for Bon Jovi's like the concert. I seen Bon Jovi.
Did you like it?
Well, no.
I have a stance to take after this, too.
Bon Jovi said before I forget what song it was. It might have been like I'm a cowboy on a steel horse. Whatever that song.
Dead or Alive.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Note for note.
Now we're talking rock and roll.
Word for word, Bon Jovi said, This ain't no pop shit like fucking Justin Bieber. This is rock and roll."
He called out the Biebs.
Called out Bieber. And then and I got my own beef with Bieber, but
let's go listen to All My Heart.
The fact that Bon Jovi, what did some wind up there take? Oh, there ain't no wind in space.
Yeah, it's called solar wind, you loser.
Well, anyway, the fact that Bon Jovi called Justin Bieber pop bullshit.
Fucking bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind me. I'm just floating around. I have a stance to take.
Okay.
The dude who played Elvis in that new Elvis movie just won Best Actor. He won Best Actor in the movie. And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve success. It's not what I'm saying. Because we've been also very lucky and blessed to receive countless awards from countless unnamed radio stations over the past years.
Yeah.
But that movie was a bunch of horse shit.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't miss nothing. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Now, this is Elvis's life, right? He grew up poor in a black area, and he had a love of black music his whole life. And he got signed to a little label, and he put out songs. They saw his talent. They signed him. He bought Graceland for his parents. He was controlled by corporate interests. He took a few stands. Um, and then he gets old and fat and he dies. And that's
He
about,
didn't really get old. He died young and fat.
John Old's mentality, and Elvis was it. Wait, hold on. Let me rephrase that. John Old is a mentality, and Elvis is it. Um, the movie, all of a sudden, they're like, yeah, and Elvis bought clothes with BB King. So they go to whatever, it's like Bourbon Street or whatever street that they were on back then, where, all the black entertainers would buy all of their stuff, which was different then because they had segregation back then. So it was like a taboo for a white person to go buy clothes there. But Elvis, that was his style. He loved it. So they're going there. Tell me why they're not playing like a real BB King song. They're playing like some like Jay-Z remix of a blues song. Now, as I was annoyed, I'm like, play fucking BB King. If he's gonna be in the scene, play like um play like Gary Clark Jr. covering some BB King or something. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So that movie pissed me off. All of a sudden, he gets his record deal with Capitol Records, and the next scene, he bought Graceland, and he's ready to. His parents are dying, and like the next scene, it's like, what? I didn't like the pacing. I didn't like the soundtrack. Congratulations on your success, but the rest of the movie.
Are you sure that he didn't win it for his when he hosted Saturday Night Live? Because that was really good.
I didn't know that you won awards for hosting Saturday Night Live.
Well, I'm saying that it could have. It was maybe someone was really impressed.
Best TV performance on a TV program?
No, best actor of the year.
For him hosting Saturday Night Live.
For his hosting Saturday. I mean, a range of different.
He was better on Saturday Night Live than Willow Smith.
Let's not even talk about that fucking stunad. Her whole family's stupid.
Listen, that's why they're banned from the podcast.
That's true. Yeah,
Okay?
they are banned.
Capiche? They're not coming on.
If Will Smith will come on to apologize to us, then he'll be allowed back on. But other than that, they're banned.
Jada Pinkett, she's really banned.
Forever.
And I refuse to platform her daughter.
Yeah.
The only willow I will recognize is a weeping willow tree. In my backyard, where I sit underneath it, I write songs on the steel. And I think...
Bon, when you write songs, are they always on acoustic or will you plug in an electric? Sometimes.
Only when I'm with the guys. I'll write a song on electric when I'm with the guys. Otherwise, it's the sixth string. It's the wood. It's a human playing and a human singing.
Yo, how bad was he? Was it him that we were like, when everyone was doing them shutdown concerts?
Oh my God.
And Bon Jovi's was just like, I mean, he did Living on a Prayer, and it was just fucking.
Woo, we're halfway there. Woo woo, I'm living on a prayer. It was like, what version of this song are you doing, buddy?
He's just, our good friend Eric, is always saying how bad the Jove is.
Terrible. You know who's not terrible though? I've been really really. And our awards are already up for last year. I've been super getting into Always.
I told you.
Yeah, yeah. It's been especially Belinda Says, that's such a great song.
Belinda Says should have been up for Song of the Year, but
Definitely.
I put their first single because it was like the first. It had the most breathing time. You know what I mean?
I don't even know if Belinda Says was a single, was it?
I think it was. I think it was like the third released or fourth released, and then the album came out.
Did you see them do it on KEXP?
I
So
I
good.
I seen them do it on Jimmy Fallon as well.
Are you talking about Jimmy Fallon? I love his show. Oh my God. I love Jimmy's show. He's such a nice guy. He's a sweetheart.
I was watching the Zach Galifianakis John Hamm Between Two Ferns the other day
Yeah.
when he says he goes it gets quiet and he hits the button and it goes
That's such a funny show.
I want a new season, man. Zach Galifianakis hasn't done anything.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
It's your fault.
There's a guy named William Montgomery who's like the new Zach Galifianakis who's very funny.
William Montgomery.
He's very funny. He
This
goes
is
on Kill Tony all the time. His first joke I think ever was it was like, "Where's the ham?" That's my impression when we're on vacation and my dad says we don't have any ham.
That's actually pretty cute.
Yeah, he's cute.
You know who I miss? I miss Dimitri Martin. He should put out something new.
I think he did something like 2 years ago.
There's a lot of good comedians that'll make me laugh.
John
They'll-
Mulaney. John Mulaney
Isn't
literally.
he the guy who sounds like this?
Yeah, he's fucking unbelievably funny.
You know, John,
And he this is John Mulaney. You would never notice, but he left his wife um in the midst of a cocaine addiction, severe cocaine addiction, and then got sober and then started dating a supermodel and got her pregnant.
that's unlikely and improbable, but he did it.
But when you look at him and you hear him, you would never expect him to be like a cokehead who's like fucking supermodels. You just wouldn't think it.
I think. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were gonna go into something. I don't
No,
want
he's just John Mulaney's in my top five right now. Like, if anybody, he's just one of the funniest.
I think I want to go into a room of like. You ever you ever see those male pickup artist videos?
Well, I seen the Channel 5 one.
Did you ever just watch any of the
No.
any of the other ones? Well,
Mm-mm.
they're all just as bad. And you have all these guys that know how to do that are like, yeah, I get women all the time. They're just totally full of shit. They're just scamming people.
Yeah.
I think I wanna bomb a life coach convention because I feel like I have enough. I feel like I have enough confidence and charisma, and I can lie well enough that I can convince everyone that I'm a life coach. But I'm private. I don't have a website. I don't have any of that. I only do communication by letter. Like I'll do meetups in person, but all correspondence is done by
That's it.
letter.
That's a great, how and you could say the reason you don't do that is because the like radio waves and the frequencies and technology now are so harmful to the brain that you don't use any technology.
You're not thinking like a life coach, my friend.
No, that's I'm telling you that
They
you
don't
get,
harm the brain, John. You know what they harm? They block male pheromones.
oh yeah, you're right.
See what I'm saying here? You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
I'll start convincing men. I'll start convincing people everywhere. Like, Pete Davidson ended up with all the women he ended up with. It's me. It's me. And then when they say no, it was prove that it wasn't. Look at the guy George Santos in Congress. He lied about everything. You don't think I could pull this off?
I'd rather you become a politician, but I mean,
This is the first step. They all run a scam. It's like a practice run. You run a scam for like 3 years, then you get into politics.
did you did you watch any Katie Porter videos like I told you to?
John, I didn't watch one Katie Porter video.
So she is. So who's Feinstein? Feinstein.
You talking about Feinstein?
The
She's
one
like
who's
a million years old.
she's like demented, and they're lying about it.
Demented.
Yeah, well, she's older.
Possessed? Does she have a possession?
She's not-
I could call my friend and help her.
I don't think she does. But she's old as fuck, and she has dementia, like severe. Like multiple people have come out, and Democrats have came out and said we've worked with her for over 15 years. And the last conversation we had with her, we had to reintroduce ourselves 3 times.
Oh my lord.
So she's all fucked up, and the media and the Democrats are lying about it.
Diane
But
Feinstein.
she's running. Adam Schiff is now gonna be like might take her place, but Katie Porter also might run for her thing. That's if she steps down. She might not step down, and she'll just be a mindless puppet. But
The worst thing they could do is have Shifty Shift in power. In case you didn't know, I'm going back on Twitter.
I like how old is he that he has to prepare to go back on Twitter instead of just downloading the app and signing in. He is prepared to go back on Facebook and Twitter.
It's a big step, but I make big steps every day. You should just see my beautiful golf course. Right now, I'm orbiting around the Earth because I can. I have the means to do this. Chinese aren't up here. I made sure of it. I'm the only one. It's gonna all hell's gonna break loose when he goes on Twitter. My inner George Carlin is very excited for all the chaos.
Yeah, I love Chas.
My good citizen is not excited for the chaos. My George Carlin side is very excited for the chaos.
Well,
oh my god, we have less than a minute left, John. Holy shit. Go listen to John Covers right now. Go support League Island Brewing Club.
Matthew, you going to be back down to earth next week?
I hope so. I hope so. Now the orbit's getting crazy. Oh, my weed pillow is also stuck to my